Windows 11 forcefully updates itself, breaks basic features, and replaces a functional taskbar and start menu with one that just looks good. And that's the default experience. You just have to deal with it. I'll show you how to clean up and improve the start menu, taskbar, context menu, and file explorer, plus how to take control of updates and make the UI more consistent. 1. Fixing the start menu. When you use the start menu search, you'll often get web results instead of what you're actually looking for on your PC. Sometimes you'll even get ads for random stuff, like Facebook services. There is also this random stuff like Microsoft Rewards and Copilot. To get rid of all this clutter, we'll be using a tool called WinUtil. It's a utility that runs on PowerShell. Open Terminal as administrator, open a PowerShell tab, then copy this command that I will leave in the description and paste it here. Go to the Tweaks tab, disable Bing search in start menu, then go to the config tab and check disable search box, web suggestions in registry. Click install features. Now web results and ads have completely disappeared. You might have also noticed that Microsoft Rewards and the Copilot button have been also removed. Now, if you don't use the recommended section and you don't like that it sits there empty, taking up space, open WinUtil, go to the Tweaks tab and disable recommendations in start menu. But be aware that this option will also disable Windows Spotlight on your lock screen. You might have to restart your computer for the tweak to fully take effect. I've restarted File Explorer and Task Manager and the recommended section is gone now. Before we move on from WinUtil to other start menu enhancements, there's another tweak I recommend you apply. So you know how Windows forcefully updates itself and somehow always at the worst possible times. Even worse, those updates often bring new bugs and introduce more problems than they fix. To take control, open the Updates tab in the tool and select Security Settings. This will modify your updating schedule to delay feature updates by 2 years, so you're not a beta tester for new and unstable features, but still install security updates just 4 days later, so you stay protected. I have been using this option for a long time now. I'm still on the 23H2 update, 10 months after 24H2 got released. Okay, let's now move on to the rest of the start menu tweaks. Now, let's say you never use the pinned apps section. You always open the start menu and click on the all apps list. So instead of doing that over and over again, we'll use a Windhoek mod. Windhoek is like an app store, but for Windows mods. All mods are free and open source. I have been using the mods in this video for some time now, without any major problems. Go to the Explore tab, search All Apps, and open the Show All Apps by default in Start Menu mod. Click Install. Now every time you open the Start menu, it will automatically open to the All Apps list. The centered taskbar icons looks clean, but every time you open a new app or pin something new, the start button slightly shifts to the left. That means your muscle memory is constantly off. But what if you could lock the start button to the left and keep app icons in the center? And that's exactly what the start button always on the left mod does. It locks the start button to the left and keeps everything else in the center. If you don't like how the default start menu looks, you don't have many options. The Windows 11 Start Menu Styler mod adds many themes and layouts you can pick from. Go to Settings and choose a theme you like. Here are how some of them look. You can even find custom themes on sites like WinStar theme. Here is one I really like. It's originally from WinStar, but I've made it less rounded. The original theme is called Windows 11X Start Menu. To use it, you first need the theme to be set to none, then go to Advanced and under Mod Settings, paste the code that I will leave in the description. Then click Save. If you like the original theme from WinStar, I will also leave a link for it down below. And if you ever want to revert back to a built-in theme, just remove the code in here and type these curly brackets. 2. Fixing the taskbar. The Windows 11 taskbar has seen a lot of backlash from users since it got stripped down of many features and functionalities that Windows 10 users got used to. One of the most basic features Windows used to have was the ability to move the taskbar to any edge of the screen. Some users prefer docking the taskbar to the side, especially on ultra-wide monitors. Why, you might be asking? Because in apps like web browsers, there's usually a lot of unused space on the sides. For example, the Google web page and ChatGPT leave a lot of white space on the sides. By docking the taskbar on the side, you're using space that would have been wasted and freeing up more vertical space, which means you need to scroll less and you can fit more content on a screen at once. You can use the vertical taskbar for Windows 11 mode to dock the taskbar on the left or on the right, and to put the taskbar on top, use the taskbar on top for Windows 11 mode. However, these modes may have bugs, such as the Action Center still opening from the bottom and no auto-hide support. You've got multiple File Explorer windows open, and you're looking for the one with the Downloads folder, but when the taskbar icons are combined, you need to hover over the File Explorer icon and visually scan every thumbnail to find the one you need. This is very inefficient. So here's the fix. Open taskbar settings and under taskbar behaviors, set the combine taskbar buttons and hide labels to never. Now, each Explorer window is clearly labeled with its icon and its folder name. Now, when you are using taskbar labels, there is a small problem. The default indicator for active windows is very tiny. It's hard to tell what's actually open. On top of that, all the items have inconsistent sizes, which makes it harder to build muscle memory when switching between apps. Like for example, look at the size of this music folder and look at the size of this. But with the taskbar labels mode, we can fix both problems. Make sure you've set the mode to show labels, don't combine taskbar buttons, and set the running indicator style to full width. You can see now that the items are more easily identifiable. For the size of the items, scroll down and tweak the minimum and maximum taskbar item width to something that feels right. I set mine to 50 as the minimum and 120 as the max. So that means if an item is below 120 pixels, it won't take that space unnecessarily. I don't know if it's just me, but this makes a huge difference. Try it and let me know if you feel it too. Some apps' labels don't show anything useful. For example, the calculator app simply shows calculator. In cases like that, it's better to just show the icon. To do that, in the same mode settings, we'll be using the excluded programs section. Windhoek can identify your app by three things: process name, path, or application ID. I will show you how to find all of them for the calculator app. For the process name, open Task Manager, search for calculator, click the arrow, right-click, go to Details, right-click, and open Properties. This is the process name. The process name doesn't always work. To find the path, right-click in the Details tab, open File Location, select the .exe, then use Ctrl-Shift-C to copy the path, paste it in Windhoek. Still, this doesn't work. To find the application ID, open Terminal as administrator, open a PowerShell tab, and use this command that I will leave in the description. This will list all your installed apps alongside their app ID. You can scroll through this list to find the app you want, or type the same command but add -eq quotes the app's name quotes. Highlight the app ID, copy it with Ctrl-C, then paste it in Windhoek. Okay, now it works. Let's hide the Windhoek label with the app ID. Okay, the app ID works great. Repeat this for any app where the label doesn't add any value. The Windows 11 taskbar is massive compared to older versions. It takes up way more space than it needs to. You can shrink it down using the taskbar height and icon size mode. I set the icon size to 22, taskbar height to 44, and taskbar button width to 44. This is before, this is after. You can go even smaller. This is the default taskbar auto hide animation, and honestly it feels sluggish and a bit junky. But with the taskbar auto hide speed mode, you can fix that completely. In settings, you can tweak how fast the taskbar shows and hides, and you can tweak the frame rate of the animation. Set the frame rate to match your monitor's refresh rate. Mine's 144 Hz, so I set the frame rate to 144. Here's how it looks after. A lot smoother. By default, the taskbar auto hides all the time. Like for example, when I have a File Explorer window open like this, I gain nothing if the taskbar is hidden, because I am not using this part of the screen anyway. But don't you think it would make more sense if the taskbar would hide only if the File Explorer window touches it or goes full screen? That way, the taskbar only hides when you actually need the screen space. And that's exactly what the taskbar auto hide when maximized mode does. It will only hide the taskbar if a window intersects the taskbar or goes full screen. You can choose if you want to auto-hide both when a window is maximized or intersects the taskbar, or auto-hide only when a window is maximized. We'll now take care of the right side of the taskbar. To declutter it from the icons that you don't use, we'll be using the taskbar tray system icon tweaks. For me, I don't want to see the language bar and the microphone icon. I've also reduced the show desktop button width to only 5 pixels. And I made the bell icon hide when there are no new notifications, and do not disturb is off. If you want to go even cleaner, you can remove either the volume icon or the network icon, since they open the same flyout anyway. Or hide them both, and just use the Windows A shortcut to open the Action Center. If the taskbar clock doesn't look the way you want it to, Windows barely gives you any options. The taskbar clock customization mode gives you a ton of control over how your clock looks and behaves. I set mine to show a detailed date and time in a clean horizontal layout. You can customize color, font size, font family, font weight. There's basically no way to customize the notifications panel. Notification Center Styler lets you clean up the notifications panel and make it behave way smart. I used it to remove the focus session control section since I never use it, and made the notifications panel adapt to the amount of notifications I have. I also added the Alt-E shortcut to expand the calendar and Alt-X to clear all notifications. Unfortunately, you can't easily apply these tweaks. You need to change the control styles. I will leave the code for my customizations in the description. You just need to copy it and paste it in the mode settings. 3. Window management. If you use virtual desktops often, you know how annoying it is switching from one desktop to another and having to wait for the animation to finish before you can actually do anything. With the Disable Virtual Desktop Transition Animation mode, switching is instant. One tip though, if you use different wallpapers for different desktops, there will still be a slight delay when switching between them. Using the same wallpaper across desktops keeps it snappy. 4. Fixing the context menu. With Windows 11, the context menu got redesigned, but most of your useful options are now hidden under an extra click. It's inefficient. While yes, there is a registry tweak to always show the full menu, this looks outdated and it's cluttered. A better option is Soft Shell. It's a modern take on the extended menu that fits the Windows 11 look, and it's fully customizable. You can remove items you don't need, rearrange them, or add new items you actually use. It even improves the taskbar right-click menu, bringing back useful options from Windows 10. Check the video in the top right corner for a full customization guide. The new Fluent design in Windows 11 looks good, but it's still incomplete. Dark mode, for example, isn't consistent. Some parts of the system follow it, and others don't. Start All Back fixes most of these inconsistencies by bringing everything in line with the modern look. Here are some of the changes that it makes. Dark mode for control panel, modern tooltips when you hover over things, dark and modern file explorer dialogues, fade animations, and finally, it also adds a dark theme for the run dialog. By default, Start All Back also redesigns the start menu and the taskbar, but personally, I don't like how it looks, so I just disable both options in the settings. Start All Back gives you a 100-day free trial, then you'll need to pay to keep using it. 6. Fixing File Explorer. The new command bar in Windows 11's File Explorer is a serious downgrade. It's laggy. You'll notice it loads after the rest of the UI, which makes everything feel slower. To bring the address bar back, open Start All Back, go to the Explorer section, and enable the Windows 10 ribbon UI. The ribbon also has a few advantages. You can preview folder views just by hovering over them. If you don't like how much space it takes, you can hide it. Tabs get a modern look, and they're easier to click since they're not pushed to the top edge. You can right-click on the down arrow and make the quick access toolbar show on top of the ribbon. Now, go back to Start All Back. There are a few more useful options here. The Details pane is a feature that goes all the way back to Windows 7. It gives you glanceable file information and metadata, unlike the preview pane. And it shows up at the bottom, which is a more efficient use of screen space. You can even resize it freely. Finally, enable Mica effect on top, new icons, and colorize everything with your accent color. This gives the ribbon UI a modern Windows 11 feel while keeping the functionality that actually makes File Explorer better. Another tip to make File Explorer faster is to open folder options and set Open File Explorer to anything but the home folder. This is because the home folder makes File Explorer load up slower. If you want to learn more about how to make File Explorer better, like the ability to generate thumbnails for all types of files, click the video on screen right now.